Good Thursday morning, and thanks for joining us from the Ohio AgNet, voice you know with the News You Trust studio, sponsored by Grain Equipment Company, where innovation meets execution. I'm Dusty Sonnenberg. Well, clear skies, 40 degrees on the barn thermometer. Looks like another beautiful day on tap. Unfortunately, I don't think we can say the same for folks about 1,000 miles due south of here. I have relatives with a place in Venice, Florida. We'll be anxiously waiting on reports for what things look like now that the hurricane has made landfall. Tune in today at midday as I'll be making my way to Northeast Ohio. We'll be visiting with Matt Spielman, part of the Ohio Field Leader Roadshow. That's a project of the Ohio Soybean Council and your soybean checkoff dollars at work. A couple quick calendar reminders. Tune in tomorrow for midday as Dale talks all things biodiesel with Jordan Davidson. He's the fleet superintendent from the Franklin County Engineers Office. Then on Monday, he'll be visiting with the folks at Talc USA. That's a Brandt company who designs products to enhance crop performance for both corn and soybeans. Let's check in now with our weekly update from the Ohio Soybean Council. I'm visiting today with Chad Warner. He's a farmer in Darke County, also a member of the Ohio Soybean Board. Chad, you've been doing quite a bit of traveling. Let's talk Soy Connect. You recently traveled to San Francisco, California, with, it sounds like, about 750 of your closest friends from 60 different countries. What's the purpose of Soy Connect, and what all did you talk about there?
So Soy Connect is just it's a forum to bring U.S. customers and suppliers and producers together with different customers from all around the world. It's just a forum to connect and also learn about, we have presentations about the advantages of U.S. soy over our competitors, and how the protein levels are higher, the quality levels are higher, and from the rations used with U.S. soy, how the animals respond to it better as well.
Does that seem to be a pretty important topic to the buyers that come to that, looking at the quality of the bean they're getting out of the United States?
Yes. We're substantially priced higher than our competitors, but as the studies have shown, we still, by using U.S. soy, you still have a better ROI due to the quality.
Interesting. From the buyers that were there, how does sustainability of our production factor into their decision-making process?
For a lot of suppliers, I think it makes a big difference. We also had recognized some of the soy food masters and the soy oil masters, the finalists for the whole United States, and every country were recognized at Soy Connect as well.
Again, my guest today is Chad Warner. He's a farmer in Darke County, also a member of the Ohio Soybean Council. Chad, thanks so much for your time today.
Thank you.
And today's update brought to you by the Ohio Soybean Council and your soybean checkoff. Well, let's take a look at that Thursday morning weather forecast brought to us by Seed Consultants. Simply better performance online at seedconsultants.com.
Full sunshine for today and tomorrow. Starting to see a few more clouds around over the weekend. I'm Chief Meteorologist Ryan Martin. Let's take a look at your forecast update. Clouds are coming as cool air starts to surge southward out of Canada and across the Great Lakes. I think that cold air running into the warm body of air that we've been dealing with here for the past 2-3 weeks or so, going to wring out a little bit of moisture. Definitely seeing cloud cover, but moisture is going to be a little bit tougher to pinpoint because in order to get moisture to come out, you've got to have moisture in the column of air above you, and that's where we've been a little difficult here recently. But I'm going to say maybe some hit and misses, scattered showers in northwest Ohio as we move through Saturday midday and early afternoon, and then continuing overnight Saturday night into midday Sunday. Hit and miss activity, plenty of clouds. I don't think we see any more than probably a few hundreds to a couple of tenths here or there, but we'll keep it in the forecast just for you to be aware of. Dry for next week, but chilly for sure. We see frost and potentially even freeze conditions in parts of the state for Sunday night, Monday morning, Monday night, Tuesday morning, Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. So all of that coming at us to start next week. Definitely chilly. Dry, though, and I think we can continue to work through some rounds of harvest with that pretty easily. It just takes a little bit longer to get the dew off of things in the morning, or in these cases, the frost. And then once we get into Thursday, Friday of next week, we see temperatures warm back up, sunny, warm, dry. Harvest continuing all the way through. I don't see a statewide interruption of harvest until maybe a weather system comes out of the Four Corners region and hits us for the week of the 21st. I'm meteorologist Ryan Martin.
Thanks, Ryan. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more after this.
In any year, your best harvest is only a few upgrades away. Seed Consultants exclusively serves the Eastern Corn Belt. combining our deep knowledge of local conditions with high-performing products fit for your acres. Most importantly, our customized services put our products and your business in a position to succeed. We help you start with better to grow your best. Visit seedconsultants.com to learn why our products and services are simply better.
If your summer road trip leads you to Ohio's farm country, be sure to share the road with Ohio's farmers. Farm machinery moves slowly, makes wide turns, and needs extra space to avoid obstacles like mailboxes and guardrails. Let's all be mindful and make sure everyone gets home safe and sound this year. This message brought to you by the Ohio AgNet, OSU Extension Ag Safety and Health Team, and this station.
I'm visiting today with Wendy Osborne. She is Director of Market Development with the Ohio Corn and Wheat Growers Association. Wendy, thanks so much for your time. You've been a busy lady, as trade probably now is as important as it's ever been in both the corn industry and the wheat industry, with market prices seemingly low compared to how they have been with trend lines, and just the need for those new opportunities out there. Talk a little bit about the work that Ohio Corn and Wheat does when it comes to the buyers that are looking for our corn. Is that primarily what they're looking for, is corn, or how much of the conversation goes to the DDGs or even the ethanol or other products of the corn?
Yeah, this specific group was that we hosted from the Philippines was specifically, they were buyers of corn for animal feed. And so they worked in the poultry and the pork industry. But the Philippines also has a 10% mandate on ethanol. So they're one of our largest ethanol buyers as well. And they're actually moving to 20% ethanol as well in their country. And so they've been a great partner as they're looking at reducing their emissions in their country. But we focus really heavily on not only corn, but DDGs. They've been a huge buyer of dry distillers grain. Most of them are these buyers are buying on containers because the country actually consists of about 7,000 islands. And so they have the land mass of similar to Arizona. And so they're buying a lot of container shipments versus vessels.
Very interesting. Well, let's flip the switch if we can. Let's talk wheat just for a little bit. I assume a lot of what wheat buyers are looking for is similar in terms of just volume of product, but then also price and sustainability. But wheat, unlike corn, probably in a lot of parts of the world, is also used more for human food, is more so even than livestock. Talk a little bit about that, if you will. What are some of the countries that are coming, visiting us, looking to purchase wheat, looking for?
Yeah, we have a lot of millers and bakers that come in as to buyers of wheat. And again, you mentioned that that's going to mostly to human consumption. So quality is really important. And there's 6 classes of wheat in the United States, all have a very distinct function or use. Some soft dried winter wheat, which is what we grow here in Ohio, and most of the eastern United States is kind of a softer type of wheat. So it's used primarily for cookies and cakes and baking. Whereas on the western part of the United States, a lot of that wheat is going to make pasta and bread. So educating our buyers on the classes of wheat that we have here in the United States, and then also highlighting the quality of the wheat, and also educating them again on what wheat would be best for what baking needs or pasta needs that they have is very important.
Well, I know with your trade missions, an important thing you do is actually get the visitors out to farms in Ohio and meeting with some of the board members and some of the farmers. What's the response or the relationship like on the part of the international guests to be able to go out and see that firsthand?
That's always the highlight of their mission here, is to be able to get actually out on the farm to see where their product is raised. That's, again, being exported around the world. And so I think it's a great way for our farmers to also build relationships with those buyers, but to be able to see that product growing and to build those relationships is really key. We were able to, this last trade team we just brought out to a farm in Farmersville, Ohio, and Nathan Lyles was able to talk about also some of the sustainability practices and how he cares for the environment. So being able, again, to not only see corn harvest, but also to talk about some of the sustainability practices was really important.
My guest again today, Wendy Osborne, Director of Market Development with the Ohio Corn and Wheat Growers Association. In other agricultural news, less than 2 years after being awarded $45.6 million in USDA loans and grants, a northern Iowa chicken processing plant has shut down, with state departments of agriculture in both Iowa and Minnesota now working with farmers to feed or euthanize 1.6 million broiler chickens. As many as 50 poultry farmers across at least 3 states also could lose income from contracts as well as ownership stakes with Pure Prairie Poultry. Now, Pure Prairie Poultry, based in Fairfax, Minnesota, was one of the first recipients of funds under the Biden administration's initiative to help boost competition in the meatpacking and poultry industries. In November of 22, the company received a $38.7 million loan and a $6.9 million grant. The money was used to reopen a previously closed broiler chicken processing facility in Charles City, Iowa, that is considered near state-of-the-art. The company began processing chickens in Charles City and sold products to grocery stores regionally in Minnesota, Iowa, Missouri, Nebraska, South Dakota, and North Dakota. Pure Prairie filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in Minnesota on September 20th. The company reported more than 900 creditors with liabilities between $100 million and $500 million while holding $50 to $100 million in assets. Stay tuned. We'll be back to take a look at your markets after this. Those long days in a tractor cab can really put a cramp in your body. So while refueling or refilling your equipment, walk around the tractor a few times or do a few head-to-toe stretching exercises. When fatigue does set in, that's when injuries and mistakes happen. Know when it's time to take a break and recharge. Let's make sure everyone gets home safe and sound. This message from the Ohio AgNet, OSU Extension, Ag Safety and Health Team, and this station. It's time now for your morning Louis Dreyfus grain analysis, brought to you by the Ohio Soybean Council and your soybean checkoff. Let's check in with Ryan Martin.
Grain markets finished pretty boring on Wednesday. The midweek marketplace didn't have a lot of excitement at all. Corn finishing the day fractionally lower. We had a couple of pennies worth of gain in soybeans, couple of pennies in Chicago wheat, 4 to 6 in Kansas City. Spring wheat up 1 to 3 cents. There just wasn't a lot out there. The markets were definitely trying to put together a positive turnaround in the financial realm, but so far there was nothing really on the grains that we could get super excited about. Somebody said yesterday the grain markets were in a sympathy move, an in-sympathy move with the financials as they tried to turn around here a little bit. Corn, wheat, and soybeans have followed normal seasonal price trends and patterns as of late. Seasonal trends do not strongly indicate bottoms in the late August, early September timeframe, but more of a neutral to sideways trend in October and November as the arrival of the new supplies challenge rally efforts. Harvest pressure is basically what that little blurb means overall. As we take a look at the expectations for crop progress, already hearing estimates that next week we could be as much as 65 to 70% complete. Additionally, bullish yield surprises are going to be needed on Friday to reactivate speculative short covering in bulk. We did have some bulk sales yesterday. Exporters selling 126,000 metric tons of corn to unknown destinations. The recent jump in Ukrainian FOB premiums has made U.S. corn even more competitive for fall delivery overall. The other big report that was out yesterday, the EIA Energy Report. Crude oil and gasoline markets paired earlier losses amid bullish ethanol and distillate consumption data. The week ending October 4th showed 9.65 million barrels per day in terms of gasoline consumption. That's great news for ethanol. I'm Ryan Martin.
Thanks, Ryan. Let's take a look at how your markets closed, brought to us by Seed Consultants. Simply better performance online at seedconsultants.com. December corn closed up a quarter penny and March corn was down a quarter cent. November soybeans closed up 4 cents and March beans were up 2 1/4, while December Kansas City wheat closed up a nickel. December Chicago wheat was up 4 1/4 cents, and December Minneapolis wheat was up 3 3/4. Taking a look now at the overnight trade, December corn is trading up a penny and a quarter at $4.22 1/4 cents. March corn up a penny and a half at $4.39 1/2 cents. November soybeans are trading up 3/4 of a penny at $10.21, with January beans up a penny at $10.38, and wheat for December's up 9 1/2 cents at $6.08 1/2 cents, with the July 25 new crop up 7 cents, $6.48 1/2 cents. October live cattle ended the day down 27 1/2 cents at $188.20. October lean hogs were down 20 cents at $83.92 1/2 cents, and November feeder cattle closed down $1.62 1/2 at $248.67 1/2 cents. Thanks for joining us. This is the Ohio AgNet.